we're talking about what's eating you. Talking about what's eating you.
Proudly brought to you by Rogers Hood Apothecary. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to What's Eating You. We are your hosts, Sam
and Kim.
And today we are bringing you all of the health and wellness information and healing knowledge that you're hungry for. Please remember to like, subscribe, share with your loved ones. Help us get this information out to as many people as it can help as possible. Today, we are talking about water.
Water. It is one of my favorite things to talk about next to worms.
You're one of the best people to talk about water because you have been affected by it in your life so drastically, so dramatically, in a negative way and positive way. So today we're bringing a lot of the issues and hidden things about water just to bring to your attention so that you're aware and can make changes in your life to make sure that you are getting into your body and on your body the absolute best quality water for you and your family. We're bringing the issues, but we're also bringing the solutions.
Yes.
So
lots of solutions. It's kind of been my jam my whole life, actually. It wasn't just since finding out that our water has worms in it and made me sicker and Jeremy sicker. I actually have carried around a filter for our shower, which we'll talk more about what that looks like. But I used to carry it around and all of my family would get water filters at the house when I would stay there because I was allergic to chlorine. And I never could figure out like how else to do it than just put a water filter on the shower head. And then I used that water to wash my face and shower in, brush my teeth, to make sure that I was continually keeping myself from getting contaminated and you know, not even knowing that this was going to happen to me and Jeremy, that our water was contaminated in Hoodsport.
It was just a little foreshadowing
for
what was to come in your life later on, which is so wild.
It's wild.
So let's start from the beginning because I grew up in the country. I grew up on land in the mountains that had well water. And for the first 10 years of my life, I consumed well water. I bathed in it. And we thought it was the most absolute clean, pristine mountain water possible. Now, no one in my family ever got it tested. So I don't know to this day if it was infested or not with parasites or worms. But I've done the ParaFy cleanse several times and hundreds of worms have left my body. So there could definitely be a connection because it is a misconception that city water is the water that's like bad. You shouldn't drink it out of the tap, but mountain water or well water is great.
Yes.
But you know different.
Right. In fact, when I worked in the emergency room and in the field, the first thing we asked if someone had 10 days, so we'd go 10x, 10 days. If you had abdominal pain, diarrhea, do you have a well? It really was like a first instinct for us to say, do you have a well? Oh, you don't? Okay, then you would just immediately move on to your next questions that you would ask to figure out what was going on with the person. And so when all of this kind of took place for us, we actually were contaminated from a community well. And there's thousands of people that live in Hoodsport. So it, again, went back to the whole well situation where this community well was providing the water, which we tested, and it tested positive for nematodes. So it wasn't just city water. I feel like it was cleaner, you know, no heavy metals, no pharmaceuticals, but it's water from the earth. In the earth, this is normal. Like worms are meant to be here on earth to do their job, but we're supposed to, at the point in time we're at in our life now, filter all of our water. I mean, that's really where conversation is going to end up going with us. But you should be filtering your water, even when it's well water. For sure, when it's city water. We're in Seattle, as you can see, and I live in Seattle, and I've tested the Seattle water, which also tested positive for nematodes. And the more research that I've done, the more I found out that our country doesn't test our water for nematodes. They only test it for parasites, which is a protozoa of Giardia, D. fragilis, or crypto. And when you have like a pipe water break and they tell you to boil your water, that's why.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's like known if you go camping
Yeah.
or something, or if you get lost in the wilderness, you're supposed to boil the water before consuming it. So what would be any different about moving out or living in the wilderness, right? I love that you said, like, why wouldn't there be worms? Like, they're part of the earth. Like, they're where they're supposed to be.
Yes.
You know, it's us that like finds a spot like land and builds a well and builds a home and then starts consuming that water and just thinking like, because we're outside of a city, it must be pristine and clean. And that's just not the case.
It's not the case. And especially in places like Hoodsport, which is on the outskirts of a rainforest. And when you have a lot of sitting water, it will create Cryptosporidium parvium, which is what I had, which is parvo, which kills puppies. But it also can be transferred from a puppy or the water to a human and to other humans around you. So I did not know this. And Dr. Juliana Giles, who's my personal doctor, she also lives here in the Seattle area. And the first thing she said was, Kim, crypto's huge there. Of course you have crypto. You go in the lake, so fresh water. And I just watched a video where someone said, at the end of the summer, I'm always feeling a little gurgly in the gut and I'm not always feeling the best. I got some skin issues. I'm just assuming it's the weather change. No, fresh water holds these parasites. And so you hop in that lake like me and Jeremy would go and we would cold plunge. And a few times I swallowed water in an area that has well-known crypto documented, but you would never know it with the doctors here in this area that's a well-known hotspot for crypto, but there are signs. So when you're out camping and you're near a lake, look for the signs, because a lot of times they'll put them up and say, don't drink this water. Don't let your dogs drink the water, because as soon as they drink the water and they get crypto, guess what you're going to get? Right? Because it's a microscopic parasite. They lick you and
your whole family, including pets, shares the same microbiome.
Yes.
So if a pet has worms, you need to deworm yourself too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I think I've gotten a bad rap talking about all of this, because what are you supposed to get rid of your pet? No, you're just deworming yourself. You're deworming your animal. You're deworming your family. And now we all know. So we're being proactive instead of reactive.
Mm-hmm. Worm queen and water queen. You should claim that crown as well, because I really don't know anyone who knows more about water than you.
Yeah.
I mean, even someone who's been so affected by it, you know what I'm saying? Like in a negative way. Water is a beautiful healing element, right? It is alive. It has consciousness. It has the ability to heal. Earlier today we were talking about something so cool about water is it can be a vehicle to deposit minerals and vital things to our body and hydration to our cells and all these things we need. We're made up of mostly water, but it also can be a stripping agent. So it's such an interesting element. I think, what did Jared call it earlier? A solvent. A solvent.
And the thing about that people don't understand about water is that really it can cause you to detox. It's a solvent and different levels of pH of the water. So a Kangen machine has multiple different pHs. A Kangen machine takes the water, which, by the way, Kangen is a really great machine to balance out your pH. And if you're planning on getting one, which they are a little pricey, but I'm obsessed with water. So for me, it was a no-brainer to be able to get a 9.5 pH to a 6.0, which is the beauty. So a lot of you guys mention how great my skin looks. And it's because I use the correct pH balanced water when I wash my face every morning and every night.
It's an investment in your health.
It is.
Your Kangen machine, your water filters in your house, your entire apartment right now is filtered.
Totally filtered. And we'll definitely show you guys exactly what Jeremy and I have kind of come up with in this whole, like, we have a water filter system at the log home, and then we moved over to Seattle to finish the log home, and we tested the water. It came back positive for nematodes. And so I actually went into a little flare when we first moved to Seattle, a relapse, because I was being doused with worm water and didn't really even think about it because we didn't put the filters on our shower at the time. So I do want to go back to the Kangen really quick, because I didn't really even think about this, and I'm the filter person, that you have to filter the water prior to it going to the Kangen. The Kangen does not have a micron or smaller filter on the actual machine itself. All that machine is doing, which is amazing, is pH balancing your water. So 9.5 to like 7.0 is good drinking, 6.0 is beauty, and then they have this other setting that's a 2.5, and that's actually so you can just wash your hands with the water or clean with it. And then 11.5 actually will remove pesticides and bacteria off your produce. So all you have to do is just get 11.5 pH balance, soak your produce in it, and it's just like grime and grit at the bottom of that water.
This is reminding me of Ozone water.
Yes.
But really,
you can
like,
actually go in and use 11.5 pH with the Ozone machine.
wow.
Yeah.
The fact of just like changing the pH, which is the acidity versus alkaline level, correct?
Yes.
So that's the measurement in which you measure how alkaline or acidic it is. Changing that alone changes, like, it can become a disinfectant.
Yes, 2.5 pH is a disinfectant. And what the Kangen's doing is it's got these plates inside of it adjusting the water going through it, which allows it to change the pH balance.
But incredible point that the Kangen won't filter parasites out. And I never thought about that before. I don't think the average person would think about that.
Right.
It's like you get a Kangen machine and you're like, oh, my water is about to be so great and so good for me. And like, you don't even think about that.
Yeah.
You need to filter it prior to it going through the machine.
Yes.
That's wild. Great point there. Wow.
And it's really easy to do. I know they sell the filters prior to, so basically what you're doing is you've got your sink, and underneath your sink, there's piping that you can just put like 3 filters underneath that, and then you attach the Kangen and then it works. And that's what we did in Seattle is we have all of our sinks. We've shut the hot water off on the sinks except for in the kitchen, and then we put in 3 filters underneath, and so it's just cold in the bathrooms, but it's better than worm water.
Hold on. Is there a misconception here we're about to unpack? Because I thought Seattle water was like pristine, clean, like the best drinking water. Are you about to... okay.
Oh,
You're about to uncover something here.
Let me just tell you guys, I come with props. So Dr. Giles brought this. Funny enough, we hadn't decided for sure tonight we were going to do a water podcast.
But
with
life
What's
is
Eating
lifing
You, but
and aligning.
And it just makes so much sense because we have so many funny stories about how we're in Seattle and what Jeremy and I look like when we're staycationing and can't get a filter on.
We're literally staying at an Airbnb in Seattle so that we can film episodes for you guys. And this was like a workation, and it's a beautiful home in Seattle. You see the view, like you see where we're at. This is a wonderful home we're staying at. And every single day and night, Kim and Jer have driven to their apartment to shower because they couldn't get a filter on the showers here at the house. And that shows how much they are committed to not showering or bathing or even brushing their teeth or washing their face. Kim has literally driven home just to wash her face with her water. So that's like shows the commitment of how much they don't want to use Seattle water or drink it or bathe in it. Why is that?
Well, first off, they let everybody here know that the water is pristine, reliable, mountain fresh, safe, protected, precious resource, high quality, great tasting, and clean. So they send this to you in the mail and they talk all about how great the water is. Unfortunately, I've tested it at an independent lab and it's really not that great. So it's full of dirt. We'll show you guys what it looks like after 5 showers. It's brown, it's gunky, it's sludgy, and I've gone viral over the water here in Seattle showing you guys my filters. I actually have a filter that we kind of created, again, another prop, but I did this. Jeremy and I did this together because this right here is all of the minerals that this here is going to remove. And the reason why I have it in set like this in 2 is because this gets so clogged so fast after 5 showers.
Oh, I've seen it.
That we don't want to have to continue to keep changing this. So we unscrew this, change this little filter out, and then at least this stays good. So we're double covered. And so it's just crazy to think that we literally got this in the mail for this podcast. And then this is what Jeremy and I use. You can find this on my Amazon storefront. The reason why this is so important is that this is a 5-micron filter. A nematode is 40 micron. So you need something smaller than that in order to stop it from just going through the filter. And then this is a 1 micron. So you're getting double down protection from the water. And then because it's stripping everything out of the water before it gets to your body, you need to add back minerals, which is what's inside of this filter. And it's very important that you do an add back because your hair will get dry, your skin will get dry. There's nothing remineralizing back into your body. And you can absorb up to 2 cups of water every 15 minutes when you're bathing, showering, in the pool, going in the lake. And so you want to be as protective as possible, and especially when you're showering, because water is such a fundamental for health. And when you don't have good water and you're bathing in pharmaceuticals and heavy metals and parasites, you really are doing a disservice, and it can continue to set you back. And I didn't realize that until I went viral on TikTok, and I kept being sick. Like, I'm cleansing and all these things are happening. And in my comments, people are like, Kim, do you think it's in your water? And it freaked me out a little bit, but it really freaked Jeremy out. It rocked my husband's world for days when our water came back positive for nematodes. He thought that if there's no bacteria, we checked it for bacteria. If there's no bacteria, there's no way that parasites can live in it. And they put chlorine in the water sometimes, but crypto and chlorine love each other and hang out. So there's so many misconceptions here, but something like this, I mean, this to me, when I saw this, it makes so much sense why everyone gets so mad at me. And you've witnessed that. When we're out eating,
we go to
Seattle,
restaurants in Seattle, and we instantly ask, is that filtered water? And they look at us so crazy. They're like, why wouldn't you want to drink the Seattle tap water? It's the best water. And they look at us crazy when we ask them to take it away and bring us back bottled water. But how do you know Seattle water has nematodes and parasites in it?
Well, I've tested it. I sent it to Mexico. I'm really grateful I did. I literally was relapsing when we moved here in December of 2023 because I was being doused with it, and my body is so clean from the water and the cleansing that it just instinctually knew. And I did not at the time put 2 and 2 together for the first few weeks. I was not doing well. I was not mentally doing well.
If Seattle sends out a pamphlet like that to its residents, are they misleading people?
Oh, yeah. This is total propaganda.
Do they know that the water is contaminated with nematodes and parasites and is not as clean as they're saying?
I mean, we contacted the state of Washington back in 21 when all of this happened, and they came out and tested our water. A zoologist came out, and they came out and said that there's nothing in it, basically that I was crazy and that there was nothing in it. But we've tested it multiple times. So not just once, we've tested it multiple times. We also got a microscope and we look under it. We have, like I said, a full water filter system on our log home, which has a UV light on the filter system and on the log home. So it's double UV lighted because we just don't want to even chance it. I mean, we now know, and everyone around us knows. And we're really conscientious too. If you travel with us, we bring you gallons of water and we always have water. And
one of the first stops we have to make when we check into our Airbnb is to get gallons of distilled water, and everyone gets one in their bathroom to brush their teeth with, no matter what city we're in. We may be talking about Seattle specifically, but this is one city in this country. So it does lead me to believe that all of the cities or a lot of them are doing the same. And maybe it's not malicious and maybe it's not intentional. It could be out of ignorance. Who knows if they test do they test the same things that these other tests do that you sent to Mexico, or do they not even test for nematodes?
No, they don't test for nematodes.
Okay,
they only test for, from my understanding, they only test for parasites like Giardia when there's a break, if there's bacteria, and they don't test for nematodes. From my understanding now, I don't work for the government. I'm not in that world. This is just from what I've experienced the last 4 years, and also being a water freak for my whole life because I'm allergic to chlorine and always having a filter system. But when we travel, not only do we do that as far as bring bottled water, but me and Jeremy carry this filter around when we're traveling, and we put it on our showers. And so I've had the privilege to see after 2 showers what like New York City's water looks like, which it's black and gross. And I just am so glad that I have this knowledge, because it's just gross. I will leave a place if I couldn't filter my water for some weird occurrence, like what happened here in this place, because we couldn't get it on that shower head, and my face breaks out. Like, I immediately don't feel well. I have a different attitude when I'm traveling if I can't have filtered water.
I think a lot of that reason is because you have so many of the herbs inside of you that are a certain frequency that parasites and worms run from. So I think the second you come into contact with something that is contaminated, it's like your body really knows right away. But can you hold that filter up again? Because I wanna point this out. Even if we go to a city that we have not tested that city's water, when this goes on the shower head, now I've experienced it firsthand at their apartment here in Seattle, but this top part right here will turn a nasty color. So it's like after the first shower, you'll see it go from white to like, here in Seattle, it goes to like a tannish yellowish. And then literally after 5, it's so brown.
And sludgy and smelly.
Deep dark brown. See, I've never smelled it, but it's so, I can see it. I can use my eyes to know, regardless of what any water test says or the city says about it, if you can use your eyes to see what a filter is filtering out, if that filter wasn't on that shower head, I would be showering in that.
Yeah.
And you can see it. The proof is right there with your own eyes, before you even get to a parasite test. But you tested the water in the city of Seattle. At multiple locations, multiple buildings?
We tested the water at our first apartment, but then we sent these with some of our friends around so we could see, was it just that apartment complex? Because, the pipes can get gross. And so was it? No.
Smart.
We moved into a brand new building. And I also have videos that I did that I actually went viral here in Seattle because of showing what a brand new piped 29 floor story skyscraper, what that looks like. The pipes have never been used, and it looked exactly the same as the yucky old. But you also have to understand that the pipes are full of junk in them too. It's not like they're going in and like cleaning out the pipes under the ground.
I know you've seen pictures, video, and I'm sure a lot of people watching have as well. But if you haven't, you should definitely look at a video of when they actually cut open a city water pipe. What is inside would blow your mind. So regardless, filtering your water in your home is like a non-negotiable. It should absolutely be done, right?
It's worth the investment. It's worth the investment. I hear everyone say it's expensive. You can do it in an apartment. You can go underneath the sink and change out the cold. That's why I said we only did the cold. But if we wanted to have hot water in our bathroom sinks, then you just put a filter in the hot and a filter in the cold. You don't want to keep contaminating your actual faucet itself. So you want to shut off the water you're not going to filter. In our kitchen, we have 2 filters. So we have hot and cold. And then we also filter our dishwasher. We also filter our wash machine, which our first apartment we flooded. And it flooded our apartment in 4 floors because our filter. So we just really are conscientious about having our clothes be worm-free water, our everything we do. We want it to be.
You said the absorption rate in the skin is
2 cups per every 15 minutes.
So if you're taking a 15-minute shower or bath, you're absorbing whatever is in the water that you're showering or bathing in.
Yes.
Now, you've mentioned the word nematode a few times so
Yes.
far. For anyone who's watching or listening that doesn't know what a nematode is, what is it?
It's the physical worm. Their parasites is a umbrella of words, like protozoas is Giardia, defragilis, and crypto. So it's a microscopic parasite. And then nematodes is a physical parasite, like tapeworm, roundworm, hookworm, whipworm. All of those are pinworms. Those are all physical nematodes. And so I saw worms in my water. I saw them when this whole journey started. And I didn't really think about it because I was so infested that they made me think, oh, you didn't see that. I saw something floating. I know it. And I stopped using the bidet at our log home. We actually had.
After you saw something swimming?
Yes.
I'm glad you did that.
Yes. Jeremy did
God.
not. So he had worm
Yeah.
water being shot up his bum. And then as soon as the test came back positive, he was actually in the bathroom when I got the results back, and I ran out there and I said, "Don't be using that bidet." And he goes, "Why not?" I go, "'Cause we got worms in our water, Jeremy. I knew it."
Unreal. Okay, so this is very layered. When you're talking about that story, you're talking about at the log home in
Yeah, the
Hudsport.
log home.
So
Well, I don't use the bidet in Seattle because I know that it has worms in the water.
Of course. So back at the beginning of the journey, when you're out in Hudsport on your land building a log home, using a bidet, and you saw something floating in the water. Now, also though, you weren't drinking the water coming into your travel trailer that you guys were living in while building. You were washing your hands with it.
Yeah, I was washing my hands, which is how I got the worm in my eye, because I wear contacts. So I would wash my hands and I would put it in. And then for a while, there was some funky floater.
And you could see it all the time.
All the time. And now it's pretty much dissolved and gone. But there is once in a while I'll see some sort of a shadow or remnants of it. But
I am not trying to get in my own head, but earlier today, when we woke up and we were talking in the living room, I kept seeing a floater, and I swear it's squiggly. So I saw it a couple of times, and then it kind of like went away, and I'm like, it's all right. Well, I don't see it right now, and I don't see it right now. But earlier today I did, and I have seen that a few times. Now, like, sometimes you'll have a floater and it'll be like black, like a black spot. But sometimes it's like a squiggle line. Yeah. So do you think that that's a worm?
Yeah.
So I need to ParaFy cleanse even more than I already have. Listen.
It's a good indication when it's time to cleanse because you see it.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And we also talk about how resilient they are.
Yes.
In the human body.
Yes.
You can do multiple cleanses, and you can even cleanse for years. And still, they still come out. So
they're evaders. They're very smart. They're very intelligent. They have their own nervous system. They know how to be hidden. They know how to not get caught. I mean, that's their whole job. Their whole job is to be a stealing of energetic force.
They're hardwired to survive.
Yes.
And their food source, their fuel source, is what they get from their host, aka our bodies.
Right.
We're out in this earth as organisms living on the earth, and we eat things. I eat meat. That's it's like they're doing what we do, but inside of our bodies, right? But they're resilient. They also reproduce at a rapid rate, and you're also always coming into contact with them.
Yes.
And if you haven't filtered your house water yet and you live in the country or the city, you could absolutely be coming into contact with them and getting them through your water.
And not even just drinking it. Really, Jeremy and I were drinking reverse osmosis water, and we were using that for ice. So that's another thing when we're traveling. I'm like, no ice, because ice is usually made from tap water. But I was brushing my teeth. I was rinsing my produce off, thinking I'm doing the right thing by cleaning my produce. And I was washing my hands, showering in it. and
using a bidet.
Using the bidet.
Which you're putting them right where they want to go.
Yeah, right up the bum.
You're shooting them exactly to where they desire to be. So it's like they're like, yes. Like,
we didn't even have to like work hard to get to this place.
They put us right up in there. Like, wow. But this is what's so wild. A lot of people watching, I'm sure, may think that this is extreme. They may think that you may take an extreme approach to life, like you travel and you don't drink ice in your water and all of that, but you almost
died. Yeah, I almost died. I had late stages of Lyme, not even realizing it. This is a co-infection, and I had lived in mold. Jeremy and I kind of realized that we had some mold in one of our remodels. Then we moved out to the travel trailer and had mold. So all of these things accumulate into your body, right? We're not cleansing our bodies out. It's just accumulating, continuously stacking up. And then there's one moment, and I can tell you the exact moment, the stress that I had in my life triggered it, and it was a downfall for my health. I just went from being a snowboarder and a roller derby girl and working 80 hours, traveling 3 weeks out of the month, writing books, like getting my second degree, being a valedictorian, to literally dying in the woods because we could not figure out what was going on. And it did contribute to that because we bought our land in 2016. I started to decline around that time. We would go out to our property because it was a recreational piece of property that eventually we wanted to build a log home on. And we would go out there, hook it right up to our travel trailer. And the dogs were drinking the water. We were drinking the water, filtering it the best we could with a charcoal filter. You know,
but again, if it's would you say a 5 mic?
Yeah, it has to be a 5. So this is the reason why it's a 5 micron is this little cloth thing that creates how many times it goes in there. And then this is a 1 micron. So that's really what it is. You're just looking at
sizing. So it's like depending on the size of it, it's how big of a nematode or a parasite could get through it.
Yeah.
So it's the size that matters. That's why you always recommend that. Okay.
5 micron or smaller, and heavy metals can't get through it. Then you can't get pharmaceuticals. Like the smaller you go, the less molecule can make it through this.
So you're not just filtering out nematodes and parasites. You're filtering out heavy metals, pharmaceuticals, all these harmful. Wow.
And it's clean enough that I feel comfortable that if I cannot get bottled water, which we always can, and I will do plastic bottled water over doing tap water.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to take those forever chemicals in the moment.
Over the nematodes that almost took you out.
Yeah, I mean.
If I was circling the drain and about to lose my life and an infestation and parasitic infection was a huge contributing factor to that, I would also live my life extremely cautious about reinfecting myself with parasites and worms. So I don't think that you take an extreme approach to life. I actually think you're ahead of the curve of what will catch up. I think people will catch up at some point to realize how important it is. We are part of, but you being the creator of Rogers Hood, the founder of Rogers Hood, a parasite cleansing company, you're part of getting the public to realize that this is a major problem. And it is, these environmental toxins are contributing to chronic illness.
Yes.
So it's like we have to
have water. We have to be really conscientious about those things. They will stack up. It's the fundamental of your health. It's the foundation of your health. If you don't have clean, safe water, you're going to continue to keep staying on the hamster wheel. You have to have clean and safe water. And I am 100% proof that when we left the log home with the filtered water after all this went down and moved to Seattle, and I just naively brushed my teeth in the water and showered in it, and Jeremy and I could not figure out why I was having a relapse. It was not good for December. But when we left and went to my family's house that year for a few days, I had no relapse symptoms. So my body just instinctively knew you got to get clean filtered water. And then that's when we came up with this little gidgy gadget because it's portable. We just don't have time to make the filter ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's like I can only do what's best and tell everyone how they can do this. And the great thing is you can stick it on your shower, you can use it to brush your teeth, you can use it to wash your face. Like it's all encompassing, right?
So I know you guys put together your own contraption, which is like very telling of like Jer and yours like teamwork together. But where can people get a water filter? What's one that you recommend that is that size that will filter out nematodes? Let's talk about, because I know in the comments people are going to be asking.
Well, this is 2 different ones. So this one is a 5 micron, and then this one is a 1 micron shower washer. So you can actually just type in Amazon, go to my Amazon storefront, or just go in and type it yourself and type in 1 micron shower filter up in the search bar. And this one will pop up. And then you can type in 5 micron filter, and this one should pop up. And then we just put them together.
Okay, so it's not about a specific brand.
No, there's only really, if you go and type these in and you can see what this looks like, that you'll know right there.
We're going to link
I'll link it.
in the description below.
Sam will link it because
we'll link it.
Yeah.
We'll link it. I love that you kept bringing up you need clean and safe water. I'm going to take it one step further and also say you also need alive water.
Yes.
So you should be consuming alive water. Now, what's beautiful about how you guys do that is the remineralization is making it alive again.
Yes.
It's bringing in alive components to give your cells and your body building blocks, fundamental building blocks that they need. So alive water, drinking alive water, what does that mean? Is there a brand you love, or is there multiple brands you love? What do you go for when choosing drinking water and we're not and not filtered from your home, but like if you're out and about, like what is your recommendation for that?
Well, I definitely recommend something like Mountain Valley when you're drinking, because now you can buy that anywhere. It's in glass. It's overall it's been tested really well. I follow a gentleman, his thing is Oasis. And so I follow him and he tests all of these, and Mountain Valley tests really high, like 91 out of 100 right now. That could change, but that's what it tests for. And then I love Ophora. Ophora is alive water. It's a nano-pure restructured hyperoxygenated drinking water. It's actually medical grade. You can walk through TSA with this. They'll test it. It's an 8.5. Oh,
hold on,
girl.
back up. TSA stops me for like applesauce.
Yeah.
Like okay, so but this is a huge
medical
bottle.
Grade.
So
and so is Kangen. Kangen you can bring through TSA.
This big of a bottle?
Yeah, a gallon. You can bring a gallon of Kangen, a gallon of this. They'll pull you over. They'll test it.
That's really good way to test the quality of that water. Just have TSA do it to prove how great it is. Like it's medical grade.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'll have like, if you follow Ophora, you'll have people walking through TSA like doing videos and stuff, because they test it right there,
like
and then they can't deny you, because it's medical. So just like your APAP machine.
My APAP machine. You calling me out right now?
It's not counted as one of your bags.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I love it.
Shove stuff in there.
Yeah, shove stuff in the one zipper in the front of the APAP. One time the woman's like, wait, hold on, is that a laptop? I'm like, no. She's like, is that an APAP machine? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, thought so. Yeah. Okay, amazing. So alive water. Yeah. So it's living.
Right.
This water is full of minerals, all of that. Now, the frequency, the pH, right? It's really interesting. Like when I find myself sometimes, like you said, you'll choose plastic over
I'll choose plastic.
But when I am in a position, I'm so thirsty, but for some reason I don't have access. I'm stuck somewhere, whatever. And all I have is a plastic water bottle to buy and drink. I can feel how it's not as alive. Like I can feel it in my system. I have a really clean system at this point, so I'm more sensitive and in tune with it, and I can tell how substances affect it immediately. But I can I
felt heavy.
Listen, forget about it. Arrowhead or Dasani.
I mean, that's just tap water.
Oh,
that's all it is. It's been tested, and
I think
Dasani was like 10 out of 100 or something. I mean, you literally, it's the worst.
But
you can feel it. You can feel
the low
it after,
frequency.
because when we moved here, we didn't have access to the glass. For some reason, it's just like a thing here in Seattle. And we finally found some Mountain Valley at Sprouts, and we were drinking a lot of plastic water, and I felt heavy. It was you can feel it after a period of time.
Yeah.
Then I found Ophora, which I love Ophora.
I do too.
And I'm really excited because we're going to actually have an opportunity to talk with Ophora, soak in Ophora, and we're looking at doing an Ophora house system.
Wow.
So because water is so healing, there's all these things of the negative of it, but it really is needed for life. It is healing. It is
sure
so healing.
Have you ever soaked in some hot springs?
Yes, but not where you guys go. And I'm really excited. We have to do a field trip.
Take you. But hot springs, period, like the minerals in it, you notice immediately. And what's so wild is ever since we found some hot springs in Palm Springs, and we love to bathe in it and soak in it and stay there all day, we don't even want to get in chlorine water anymore.
Yeah.
After we experience soaking in water like that, a pool to us is so unattractive. We don't even want to get in and swim. Like, we seek out spas that have saltwater pools or saltwater hot tubs or cold plunges over chlorine any day. The absorption rate you're talking about is so wild. So why would you want to be soaking in chemicals?
Because you're absorbing that chlorine. And that's why when you get out, you usually have to go pee a whole bunch, because you literally absorbed everything in that water. And so your body's trying to push it all out and get rid of everything. And Ophora actually has a spa, so we don't have to chlorine and we don't have to use the salt. There's no chemicals. And that's the only way I can do it. Now, I do an 80-20 in my life. We talk about that often, and we just kind of have to keep doing that. And I don't want to miss out on fun modalities because of that. Same with ozone. You can do ozone in your water. You're absorbing the ozone, helping remove the bacteria in your body. So it's really important to be conscientious, but also have fun and do 80-20.
Yeah, you're just talking about the moderation rule in life, period. You're not trying to deprive yourself of experiences, but you are very aware and you're more cautious than most. I would say with water, you're not 80-20. I'd say you're like 95-5. Like, you're pretty extreme with the water, but it's great.
My water's your food.
Yeah. Water to you is food to me.
Yeah.
For sure. But you've rubbed off on me tremendously. I've learned so much about water. Like, I definitely don't drink out of plastic anymore, like, at all. I mean, even once you get into that habit and you do nourish your body with alive water and water just from glass, clean sources, you can't. Your body won't even want that anymore. You said you can have like saltwater pools, right? Chlorine pools, which nobody wants that anymore.
Right.
But I asked you the other night, I was like, oh, is your, like, you said you're going to build a home with a water system, right? I asked, oh, is it going to be like a saltwater pool? And you said no.
No, it's going to be Ophora water.
Which is what kind of water?
Medical grade, hydrogenated, which is a high oxygen level, an 8.5 pH. So it's balancing your body. It's good for your skin. You're absorbing it. So you're actually creating oxygenated cells, which can detox you. Wow. You literally can have die-off Herxheimer's reaction by drinking alive water.
Wow. Just alone.
The because
pH
it's going
and the
in
frequency
and pushing out the trash that's in your cells. So it's going in with good stuff, pushing out the bad stuff. And so where's that bad stuff go? It creates die-offs and it gets reabsorbed. And so
bind. Take Cinnabon. If you're drinking good high quality water, you need to be binding. Wow, that's so wild. So hydrogen water.
Yeah.
That is so wild.
Well, some people can put those H2 drops, the hydrogen drops. I know like Gary Brecka has them right now. And Ophora, actually, you can buy them with them. They're like partnered up. And so you can create even more of a biohack stack.
Wow.
Yeah.
By adding hydrogen to your water.
Yeah.
It's really essentially just oxygenating your cells.
Yes.
That's what it's doing, is delivering oxygen to your body. Can you drink hydrogen water?
Yes.
So that's what this is.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand as much as you know. Yeah, it's a new concept to me, hydrogen water.
Yeah.
To consume it, bathe in it, drink it. Okay. So what's the difference between hydrogen water and ozone water?
Well, ozone is H3O, which is a higher molecule than obviously the H2O. So it just creates a different environment. It smells. You can usually
does.
smell ozone. At Dave's Mother Nature's,
Mother Nature Remedy, yeah.
he actually has an ozone cold plunge. So that created the water is an ozone water. So you're getting another biohack stack and you're being able to get rid of bacteria on your body and absorbing it to kind of help push more out of your body. Therasage, you can buy the ozone bubbler and put that in your bathtub so that you create ozone water in a bathtub setting. And you can create water ozone for a water pick, brush your teeth with it. You can drink it. You can do enemas with it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so speaking of ozone water, ozone water enemas, also ozone water colonics. You can go to a lot of colonic places and they will offer ozone water. So that goes in and does what when you do it through an enema or colonic? What's the difference between just using regular water and ozone water? Does it kill more parasites and worms? Is that the point?
Yes.
Okay.
And it breaks candida down.
Biofilm?
Yeah.
It breaks biofilm down?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's removes bacteria. When you're soaking your produce in filtered water or ozone water, it's removing the pesticides. Like we said earlier in the podcast, you can use an 11.5 Kangen with the Therasage ozone machine, and you're really stacking it so that you're getting nutrients back into your body instead of your body getting yucky.
What if you have an Ophora filter?
Oh, yeah. Girl.
Okay, Ophora filtration system. Then it goes through the Kangen. And then you put the ozone bubbler in it from Therasage.
You know that's happening.
So what kind of water does that create? The most like ultimate oxygenated
Rogers water.
Rogers water. That's what that is. I mean, that's like the most alive, clean. What do you say? Clean, safe, and alive water you can possibly use. So, can't wait to experience it at the Rogers home.
We're not messing around.
No, not messing around. No, it's that important. But I love that we're talking about water. And if you've heard any of our episodes before, you know that we love to talk about enemas and colonics, using water therapy while cleansing, before cleansing, during cleansing, after cleansing. It really is just a way of life. It's been used for centuries. Humans have been using it forever, but water therapy through those methods is so helpful to maintain digestive health, all of that. I mean, whenever you're cleansing, if you're doing the ParaFy cleanse, or you need to get things moving prior to prep yourself to cleanse, doing water enemas, doing colonics, that can help so much. And now that you're aware of even better quality water like ozone water that you can use, I think it's just so important to implement these tools that we're talking about to really like up level what you're doing.
So I know that you do a lot of enemas. How many a week of the water enemas? And do you prefer water enemas over coffee enemas?
I personally do. I do coffee enemas only when my body really tells me that it needs one. It's a more of a deeper like liver gallbladder type cleansing situation. I use water just to help me like stay regular. So like I wouldn't even say I do them every single week, but if I need to that week, then I'll do them whenever I need to. You can use water enemas like I said, while cleansing, to make sure that you are going at least once a day, because you have to be, when you're parasite cleansing, you have to be getting out what is being unalived, and you're taking that Cinnabon binder, and if you need assistance in releasing and making sure that you are going every single day, water enema is just such an easy way to do that. It is foolproof 100% of the time. You're going to go right away. I know people who tell me like, oh, I'm just someone who doesn't go like my whole life. I just like don't go. It's not easy for me to go. I'm super backed up. I'm just a constipated person. And I'm like, what about water enemas? Because like you will go right away, like every time. Like the water gets in there and it makes you release. So, it's just a tool that I really do love to use because it's cheap. It's effective,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone can do it safely. You just have to learn a little bit of how to do it at home. But like also when you're traveling, it's really easy to get backed up when you do get on a plane and travel somewhere else. And it's not comfortable to wake up and not go and then have to live your
And have fun, because you're
Yeah.
usually traveling
Not-
for vacation.
you're
So
gonna
who
be-
wants to feel all like yucky?
heavy, backed up.
Yeah.
Your brain won't be working as well. You're not going to be as sharp. Like, your skin can start to break out. There's a lot of things that can happen when you don't go.
Mhm.
And so you can use a simple water enema bag and water. And I learned from, shout out to Dave from Mother Nature's Remedy again, because recently he actually told me that you should be using distilled when you're doing water enemas.
Same with like your any APAP machine.
Okay, exactly. And I know in the past I've said spring, and that's what I've suggested because that's what I've used personally for a long time. And, I didn't have issues with it. It was good, but I found an even better information to share. And you
Nice.
should be using distilled, because just in case in spring water, if there is anything in there, because it's
Yes.
from the springs,
Mhm.
you don't want to be putting it up where they want to live
Like the bidet.
like the bidet and where they'll thrive. So using distilled water, and then again, because it is stripping, you can add a tiny bit of minerals to it or a tiny pinch of high quality salt to it,
Oh, good.
and then do it. And then that way, it's kind of mimicking like a saline enema,
Uh-huh.
but I don't recommend doing those. I don't know what's really in there, what's in those formulas that you can get at a drugstore. You know what I'm saying? I would rather use good old-fashioned water, a
Mhm.
silicone bag, and coconut oil.
Yeah.
It's very DIY,
Distilled
easy.
safe.
Distilled.
Yeah.
Distilled. Yeah.
DIY, but like make sure it's all distilled
Yeah.
with the salts and
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because just distilled by itself, like it can strip. So it
Mhm.
can be a little harsh on the system. Definitely do not use alkaline water. And even drinking a lot of alkaline water at one point in my life, I thought like the more alkaline, the better. So I got into a habit of like only drinking alkaline. And I started to notice that I started to get stomach aches.
Mhm.
And actually, when I would drink it with food, I would get stomach aches and bloated afterward because it was like throwing off the pH balance of my
It
stomach
does.
acid. And so it was harder to break down food. So it would cause me digestive discomfort. So overdoing either way isn't good. You need to keep your stomach at a certain pH. So same goes for when you use water in an enema. Like you want to just be mindful of that, not to be too stripping so you can add minerals or salt, and then not to be alkaline because it can cause like major issues if you put alkaline up your bum. Like it can like be very uncomfortable.
And we're trying to keep ourselves at a balance of around 7 to 7.5. So if you drink too much alkaline, you're going to raise yourself up, and then you have to bring yourself down acidic and keep yourself at that homeostasis level.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal. Every day you wake up, you're trying to keep yourself in a balance.
Which is so cool because that comes back to the Kangen
Yeah.
filtration system you use,
Mhm.
and then the Kangen machine that you use, and changing the pH like according to what you're doing. I watch you change it to a specific one for your face
Mhm.
when you wash your face, or like you said, change it to a pH to wash your hands. Like it's really cool that you can manipulate water like that.
That's what you do with limes and lemons. You're adjusting the water. You're adjusting
alkalinity
it. Yeah,
in it.
so it's
Mhm.
acidic then.
And lime is actually more alkaline than lemon.
oh,
So using lime water, it's more alkaline than lemon water.
good to know.
Yeah.
Good to
Very
know.
good to know. Very informative. I really hope and trust that everyone learned more about water today, that you didn't know before. The importance of filtering the water that is coming into your home, that you're bathing in, drinking in, cooking in, washing produce in, even something simple like washing your hands and then using putting contacts in your
Mhm.
eye. Like we now know the effects of that when you don't have filtered water.
And
yes.
did you hear about the lady who got the brain amoeba and died from using her Navage, the neti pot?
No. Can
Please
you dive into that for a
Do
second?
not use tap water for that at all. She literally died because she got a brain-eating amoeba from using her neti pot, and she used tap water. Distilled. We only use pharmaceutical grade distilled water in our tinctures as well. We have a pharmaceutical grade distill machine at Rogers Hood's Manufacturing. It was one of the first things we bought. We actually have the filter with the UV, and then it goes to the pharmaceutical grade distill machine because we put distilled water in our tinctures, but only use filtered water when doing a Navage or a neti pot.
Yeah, I love my Navage. I use it often. I use distilled water in a glass mason jar, and then I put my Therasage bubbler in it, and I turn the water to Ozone water. Then I put it in my Navage with Rogers Hood ParaFy drops and Rogers Hood Sustain drops.
Nice.
And then I put it up my nose to my brain, and I absolutely love using it that way. So really important. Definitely anything tap water, don't put up your nose. It goes straight, can go straight to your brain.
It just goes right to, don't brush your teeth with it. Don't wash your produce with it.
Don't use a bidet with it.
Don't use a bidet. Don't be shooting worm water up your butt.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope too that you learned how you can implement water therapy while cleansing too. It is so, so important. And if you haven't ParaFy cleansed yet or moldy's cleansed yet, then definitely this is a great time to do so. You can go to rogershood.com and use the code What's Eating You. We spell it What's Eating and the letter U, and you can get 10% off all cleanses, kits, and products at rogershood.com. Start your cleanse ASAP. Start living your life better, more aware, and implementing these really important, vital. I mean, it's like
it's your foundation of health.
Foundation.
Water is your foundation of health. You've got to build off of that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. Thank you, Kim, for offering all of your knowledge and wisdom on this. It's a really important topic, and I am so happy to get this information out there. Thank you, everyone. Remember to like, subscribe, share with your loved ones, and we will see you next time.
Bye.